World, welcome.
Dragon!
This
Dragon!
is Enough Talk. That's Paul. I'm Jesse.
Yeah.
Dragon are the mysterious faction.
Where are
That's
my
their theme.
dragon?
Their theme is mystery.
Yes.
Mysterious
Mystery of
to the people in the
two.
story, to the other
Yeah.
clans, and mysterious to the players as to what their themes are and what they're supposed to be doing to win games of L5R. Um, this is a problem they always have, in
It's
my
true.
opinion, that
Uh,
they get a hodgepodge of cards, and sometimes the hodgepodge comes together and they get a really good deck. And most of the time, it's just like these really cool conceptual cards that just don't go anywhere.
yeah, sort of, jack of all trades, master of none. I remember 20 festivals thinking, like, yeah, they've got some really sort of loose, undefined potential, and maybe I'll dig this way or I'll dig that way. And mostly I just idled in my driveway with them. I had no driving to be done.
Right. So let's start with a 4 gold 1/1 guy that is sometimes a 4 gold 3/3 guy. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, there's
Yeah,
nothing on this card that's like a 4/4 for 3/3 for 4 is something that Crane gets over and over and over again, right?
yep.
And now here we get, instead of that, we get a 1/1 for 4. That's sometimes, if you're losing the game, a 2/2 for 4. And if you successfully use his force for the purpose of its force to take a province, he loses his force. So this card is just a mess. Um, it's like it
I think
nombos with itself. It nombos with attacking. I guess, are you supposed to defend with this? I
right,
don't.
and it doesn't have any of the things that lend you. Is there something about magistrate that makes it inherently defensive? I guess expendable. So you throw it and you defend. You know, if there was a card like it to do what we in the environment, when you're down, probably easy to use for big number and you draw. This guy, I just don't think I can ever justify
There
playing that.
is there
But he just
is
left
ultimate
the
or
1/1. I mean, I guess just for the just is like you're trying to build the dragon or rocket deck, but that deck is so outclassed. I feel like in terms of vacuum speed. I just jamming in a couple of 4 for 3s isn't going to get you there.
there is a the one courtier. See, he has a courtier, and there is the
Yep.
ultimate sacrifice or undeniable sacrifice or
Desperate sacrifice, I
unenthusiastic
think.
sacrifice or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That he does wombo combo with. Send your guy home, draw a
Sure.
card. But if the best thing you can say about a personality is that you'd like to kill him, I don't know, man. This guy has
Yeah,
a
I mean,
bow.
it's a real test to how dedicated you are in your honor deck about making sure your guys are cheap and have 3 pH. Okay, I don't think this is good enough. I think that's not like your honor decks. Like you like to pretend your personalities are just these worthless disposable things, but they generally should bring a little bit more to the table than just that. I guess you know, having said all that, I play in Crane Honor decks. You see the 2 Force 3 Chi 3 pH 4 gold magistrate guy, the samurai,
Yeah.
uh, and he gets played because he can play Raincast Privilege. And okay,
Right,
well,
but
for the
Dragon doesn't need to reach for courtiers or for magistrates. Dragon's got magistrates coming out his ears.
that's true, but they don't have 3 pH for 4 gold magistrates coming out of the ears. Probably because they would go 1/1 body.
Right. Well, here's another one. Here's another magistrate courtier. 7 gold, okay. 3 force, okay. Bow, bell, make a range 3 attack, or range 4 if he's dishonorable. Okay,
Like
they got it
it,
dishonorable. Wait, we're
like,
not getting there yet. 3 pH,
but
okay, that sounds great. And then you get to the most important stat.
yeah, the honor deck is that's the thing, right? And how many guys can you put in your deck that have above starting honor that can't be the first personality you bring into play, and often won't be the second personality because if your first guy is a 7 gold cost guy, you're probably not also buying like it's very rare to be like gold 2 7 gold cost guys. That's not a lot of stuff. Um, Having said that, I think that this guy is good enough that he might be the one and only personality in my deck with above starting on requirements
Agreed.
because I think that bowing for a range three, obviously it's not. A lot of decks can do better, but Dragon can't do a lot better. And that resilient shoot thing, that might be where that deck is. Maybe the other deck is like a mid-range, mid-costed, lots of 3 4 for 7 guys, and you'll play a Occupied Space Soul Sacrifice, shoot a guy, straight a guy, win on residual force to get a unit or two. I can envision mid-game honor deck like that works against the field predominantly military decks. Now, I think this set is really better for honor decks than it is for military decks, and I think that environmental shift makes that strategy not a place where I want to be. But I don't dislike Mizukami. I think he's a good personality in a very specific sort of deck. Unfortunately, that specific sort of deck has never really been successful in Elfgar. The sort of mid-costed, slower, defensive, take a lot of actions honor deck isn't something that's ever really come together effectively.
Yeah, I mean, this guy aspires to be Daidoji Kinta, right?
Right. That's
Like,
exactly correct.
now, for an extra gold, an extra point of force. But in his highest aspiration, if you hit it, and like if he's Daidoji Kinta and with Resilient, that ain't for nothing. You know,
Yep.
like I've won games, I've won plenty of games by defending with a Kinta, shooting, and then letting my Kinta die. You know what I mean? Or
Yep.
like planning on running him home with my bot, with my sensei, and then they cancel it somehow, and then I die, and like I don't even care. And here's a guy that I don't even need to run him home. I just shoot, and then I sit there. Now, the problem with all of this is that we assume they're gonna just pass and let you keep the guy. They're probably just gonna range
Exactly.
3 your butt, and then you're dead.
Yeah, or they send you home and they still take the province.
Well, like send you home is fine. Like if we go
Yeah,
defend, shoot you, and then they go send you home, like I'm over the moon, right?
I guess. Then he's just a sort of Mukimi.
The problem
It's
is
just
that
a,
like the honor requirement kind of comes into effect here because especially against high honor factions, the speed bump shoot a guy defense. Like this is a defense you're only going to be able to make profitably between turns like 3 and maybe 4, and definitely not 5. So like if you're going
well,
second, it needs to be your first defense or your second defense.
I will say that he's a 4-chi guy with a range attack, so maybe you're trying to play like a sort of dually deck based just off chi without duelist trait. Those decks generally don't get to run a guy who vows to make a ranged attack type card.
Mm.
So again, that's another place for him. But again, a deck that has it's not generally effective deck because it's a little too slow, it's a little too laborious, and it's just a little bit too underpowered. Especially because at some point his 7 gold cost is related. Like the reason he costs 7 is because he has 3 force. And you're always bowing him defensively for the resilient thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a Nambo. So, final analysis, he wishes he were a little bit taller. He wished he were a baller.
Yep. But he does in fact have a girl in the hood, so plot twist.
Muramoto Higaru. Wasn't there an enlightened guy that also hung out under waterfalls?
Yeah,
Sugimoto, I want
we've
to say.
seen Masato or
Oh yeah,
something.
Masato. He was really good. This
What?
guy, on the other hand,
This guy is not what I would call good. Do you have anything like so? The duelist can stay, but with 3 chi, I guess he is 4 force for 7 gold, and I want to see that become the normative number again. I think that we see a little bit too many 3 force guys for 7 gold. I really think once you get to 4, we should be looking like once you get to 7 gold, I think we should be doing a lot more 4s and a lot more 5s than we currently see. So I do like, a 4 force Kensei can be gotten up to 8 force, though that's still maybe not enough if you're going first. Any the duelist, which I don't like, that's just duelist plus Kensei interaction that I have any interest in. Straighten your target ring, and then bow, sword. Okay, whatever. Whatever.
he might see some fringe play in like a start air Kensei deck. People like Kensei, they want to play Kensei. This is a guy that isn't a blank text box. Like you can rely on his ability.
We've seen standing fast decks, right? We've seen these decks that try to sort of justify playing a little bit more expensive mage personalities, and they play some Scour the Inworthies and standing fast. And when I say we, I say I play that deck. I've got, in the Paul Jesse vacuum of decks, of our 30 deck environment, we have some number of decks to play that, and he would fit into a Dragon Shell like that, where you give him 2 weapons to make his unit an expensive unit. Now he can play standing fast really effectively. And you just can't duel him because he happens to be a 5G duelist. Okay, I mean, that's a fine card. I don't think it's a rare. I think that kind of stinks. But I don't like bowing him to straighten what? Like you bow him to straighten Ring of Earth and then play your own straighten effects?
No,
Is
so
that what we're doing?
you're only using the ability if you've got the built-in straighten. And so you're like bowing him to straighten air, and then he straightens and
Yeah,
you
you're
straighten
bowing
something else. So like you're
two
bowing,
generic force items to straighten your Ring of Air. Okay, that's fair.
like Earth, I guess could be a thing. Like they go try to send you home, you cancel. So you've got your big Mirumoto Higaru equipped with the new weapon that gives him +1/+1 every turn. And it's turn 20, so he's huge.
Because I like Dragon, I'm trying really hard to think of ways to play a card like this. But I just keep coming back to how much more I enjoy the Lion guy who's like 4 force, 3/7 gold, and like gives his follower naval or gives his follower cavalry and has naval. Like I just don't like
I
the guy.
agreed. Then
Yeah.
this is that Dragon problem.
Yeah.
They get to play around with rings, but the only thing they get to do with rings is straighten them, and the rings aren't that great.
Yep.
Tamori, you got Hirakura.
This guy's great in that he fits into a Dragon Shugenja deck, and that's a deck that every faction can play. And he's better than most of these 6 gold cost Shugenjas, both because he has a number of keywords. Commander and Earth are all good, as is Resilient, as is his melee attack. A melee 0, there's 0 force stuff, but you can pump it up, pump it up, pump it up. And the one follower that makes a melee 3 and then straightens if it's on an Earth guy, and hey, look, it's an Earth guy. Like, this guy's really good, and he just helps fill that deck out. It's a bunch of 3 force Shugenja for 5 and 6 gold, and he's resilient, and he can defend and shoot a thing with his follower and straighten, and then they have this real fork. But okay, I mean, fine. Another card that I see, I understand, I appreciate. I'm just not hyped about it, especially because that deck was already there. And I guess this is a more militaristic one. Like if it was 3PH, you'd be looking more at it for an honor card. I think this is clearly like put this in the military build. So it's a zillion. Maybe it goes in honor too.
It's a rare. I just want to point that out.
Well, I mean, it's got a bunch of keywords and stuff. It's like a super filler card. It's a fine card, man. Like you're not gonna get me to say anything bad about it.
Okay.
It's a good card. It's one of those cards that like I can see and understand and appreciate, but I can't quite say I like it. It's like I'm not like this card doesn't get me to want.
I didn't expect you to come out so positively for melee attack equal to spirit followers.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna play him in my spirit deck where every follower he attaches is a spirit follower.
Okay.
Tamori
Mabasu.
Read that last line of text, man. Okay.
This one I can get a little bit more behind. You want to talk about the guy that I like. Here's a Earth Commander Tactician, generates some force, Shugenja, that, kind of gets cavalry every now and then. I think that's a little bit more in line with what I'm looking for than melee 0.
Tactician is a really interesting trait. It's sort of everywhere but nowhere with the Rani Sensei. You don't see it much anymore with the discard a card to gain a bonus. I kind of hate that it's only spirit followers for this thing. I understand that they're trying to make that fetch happen.
They're trying to make fetch happen. Yeah.
But here it's way worse because having a 2 force guy with a 3 force spirit follower, having that unit have cavalry doesn't let me do any cool province as an also tactician card. It's just a lot. I don't think I care about the cavalry card at all. This tactician shooter Earth Commander guy, okay, fine.
Sure, fine, whatever. Okay, Togashi Tomiko.
I feel like I'm having these very ambivalent responses, but
I think you're undervaluing it. You're saying that if you got a 3-force guy, he's 5-force tactician, and you can cavalry and you can't do anything. There was a time when 5-force tacticians was exactly what you wanted to be. A 5-force cavalry tactician is exactly what you want. I don't see how buying a guy like this on 2 and equipping a follower on 3.
Edge and coordinated strike, man. The game is different.
Sure. I guess the fact that you have to go second to get the cavalry is pretty terrible. Because then you can't make like an
Oh,
early
it's
quick attack
courtesy.
with
For
it.
some reason, you know what? Honestly, I didn't
I
even
did
realize it was
too.
courtesy. I was
I
thinking
thought
it
it
was
was
compassion.
compassion.
But we both just mind farted on that one. It is so. Does that change it for me in any way?
It makes it worse for me.
Yeah, I think it makes it about the same for me. So okay, and then we get Tagashi Tomoko, who's like a card that I should love because I'm actually one of those degenerates who loves monks with fire tokens. That's a
You're the
thing
guy.
that I
You're the guy that
love.
keeps them coming.
And we know that 3/4 for full gold is not great. It's good. It's slightly above average. Average is 3/4, 5 gold. So this guy's slightly above average. Um, and he makes range attack equal to the number of fire tokens plus one if it's mantis, and you just say okay. What really bums me about this card is that I don't think we have any other fire token things. There's one spell, Dragon's something, that you can invest to give fire tokens to your guy too. It's not even a Shugenja. So like I don't think there's any like there's no fun fire token synergy,
But there is
which would make me
Genpuku, so you
love.
can Genpuku reduce your Genja and give her a ton of fire tokens. This is a non-bio meat range 3 on a 4 gold guy. Like, that's the only thing that matters
Yep,
about this card, which is
that's
just
it.
totally awesome good. Like we're paying
Yep.
11 gold for this exact same ability on other suckers. There's no way to get more fire tokens aside from Genpuku shenanigans, but it doesn't matter. Like
But
4
once you
gold.
use the one shot, like you just let it go, and if and you can always do a range two and lose another token and play on Jose. This guy's just straight ass, and I like monks, and I kind of have a thing for fire breathers. I don't know what to say. Like it's a hot chick breathing fire. That just does something for me.
That's right. It's like a childhood thing coming back. So, Dragon, like I said, is all over the place. They have this courtier magistrate thing going on. We talked about that in the last two sets, and I don't
Yeah,
like it got cards. I don't think it got any help though. As usual, the
yeah,
best cards in Dragon are like these unfocused Togashi Tomiko or the like this make Sugenja that makes a random melee attack. Like they don't. They're just guys that have good abilities that you can just smash together into a deck and see where it takes you.
yeah. I mean, the puzzle, which I guess has a certain dragon themeness to it. The problem is sometimes like, the pieces fit together into this beautiful mosaic, and sometimes those puzzles where you put everything together and it's like, oh, look, it's a puzzle of the sky. It's just looking blue, like, whatever.
Yep. So that was Dragon, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Catch us next time. We'll review something else. Until then, this has been Enough Talk. Jesse Paul. Catch you later.